up? What's up, Gainesville? This is like the before lunch lull, so, and I have like one of those radio voices, so stay with me. Bienvenidos. So my story's, I don't know, it's not really a story. It's called The Unconventional American Dream, I guess. This is the short title, but I was thinking, you know, Kristen, and she was telling me to think of my key to success. I don't really have one. It's a multitude of, I guess it's like the perfect storm of a lot of different angles coming together. So I can't actually say there's one key to success, but I have a pretty crazy story, and you'll enjoy listening to it. So who is this guy? I'm from Danville, California. Anyone ever even heard of it? Really? Oh, what's up, neighbor? So I'm from California. I actually got here at 3 in the morning too, so I'm like delirious on stage. I don't know, it's a combination. I worked at Major League Soccer straight out of school for the league. This was like before Beckham. I was like in charge of the marketing. It was a really tough job, actually. Soccer is not as popular as the other big 4 sports in America. So I did that, and then I got hired by JanSport, the backpack company. Everyone knows JanSport, yeah, backpacks. So I did that for 4 years, based out of San Francisco. Actually, it brought me out here to UF a lot. My Gator connection is, I married a Gator in September, so that's, yeah, right? I did not marry a Seminole, so I love Southern girls. So I married a Gator. I also don't take myself seriously at all. I take my business seriously, so. And I now head up OrigAudio, and we're in Orange County, the real Orange County, the one like the TV show in California, and that's where I live now. So what inspired me, besides big-ass pretzels and camels, is travel. For my old job at Major League Soccer, I used to travel 100,000 miles a year all over the country doing like grassroots events and putting on the All-Star game, and it was a cool job. And then I got hired at JanSport, and I traveled doing music festivals, events, college football tailgate parties. I always came to Gainesville once a year to throw a big tailgate party. And I kind of like caught the personal travel bug. I graduated college early. All my friends went on like the Kentucky trip to Europe, so I worked and got to travel, but I caught the personal travel bug after, took some time off in between jobs, went to Europe. A lot of people like in college like don't know what they want to do with their lives. I was talking to someone earlier, like if you don't know what you want to do with your life, like just go to Europe, you'll figure it out. And well, borrow money from your parents, then go to Europe. But it was in all this travel, which is, oh, that's my business partner, Mike, too. We met at Major League Soccer. Mike was actually my intern, and then I got hired by JanSport, and I said, I'm not working here unless you hire this guy to work with me. So we worked together, and now we're 50-50 owners of OrigAudio, so that's that guy. But it was in all this travel where we got our inspiration, and travel and food, I guess, helped inspire the idea. We had the crazy idea to put speakers in Chinese takeout boxes, which was actually a very bad idea. We were traveling constantly for JanSport. I played guitar growing up. I'm like a big music person. Mike claimed he played the drums. He sucks. But we were always, and he was not here, so I can actually say that. We were carrying around these big bulky speakers with us, and they took up a lot of room in our suitcase. And we wanted to listen to music on the road, so we're like, dude, there's got to be a better way. We were literally eating like Chinese food out of a Chinese takeout box, and I'd finished my chow mein, or I guess it's called lo mein in Florida, my lo mein, and I was done with the box and like smashed it, and I was like, dude, the Chinese takeout box, best invention ever, right? They come flat, and when you want to use it, you pop it up. You can fit like 1,000 in a box this big. I go to Mike, I'm like, why aren't there speakers like Chinese takeout boxes? So we got our Chinese takeout boxes, cut some holes in them, and put some like passive speakers in them, and I kept like toppling over and showed it to our like, friends and family and my mom, and everyone's like, this is a terrible idea. But then we went back to the drawing board, and we're like, what about like origami? Oh. The Japanese art of origami, like folding boxes to make speakers, and that was like our eureka moment. So I don't know if anyone saw what my degree was in. I was an agriculture major in college, and Mike was a parks and recreation major. So we had no engineering experience whatsoever. But luckily, when I was working at JanSport, I was doing some product sourcing overseas, so I kind of knew how to make stuff. So we had one of our friends draw a die line for a folding box, and we sent it to a factory I knew in China, and we're like, hey, can you help us make this? Back and forth. They at first didn't understand the idea. Trial and error. It took about 9 months from the first idea to when we had working prototypes. And we had some sweet working prototypes, and we decided to launch a company with it. So that's what our folding speakers look like. So bootstrapped, 40 grand from myself and Mike. My mom actually went in on it when she saw the new folding box designs and gave us 10 grand. So startup capital, about 50 grand. Gave us enough money to buy about 6,000 speakers and build a .com site. We didn't quit our full-time jobs. I was still working at JanSport, living in San Francisco. Rent in San Francisco is like 10 times as much as Gainesville. And I didn't know how this folding speaker box company was gonna do, so didn't do that. We built the e-commerce site, and we launched August of '09. And of course, when you're 26 years old, as the guys at Groove Shark will probably vouch, you always throw a badass launch party when you launch a company too, so that's what we did. So, some people might recognize these pictures, but I was working at JanSport, and I actually learned a valuable life lesson right when we launched our company. And it happened here in Gainesville. And this is actually ironic that I'm doing this lecture in Gainesville, because I always talk about this, but some people might remember this. At JanSport, we traveled around the country, and we had a 1967 VW bus that was like our tailgate mascot. And we parked it outside the Wrights Union, or not outside the Wrights Union, by Gator Dining on the corner of Glen, whatever his name is, Drive by the stadium. And the bus didn't have any brakes, so it was just a showpiece. We used backpacks filled with sand, and we put them in back of the tires to prevent the bus from rolling down Gail Lemron Drive, right? So we did it. Okay, some people will see where this is going. So we packed up, the tailgate, put the bus in the trailer, went to the game. It was Gators versus Ole Miss, and yeah, I think some people remember what year and what happened in that game. But we went to the game and went out in the Gainesville that night and left the next day. So I'm driving to the airport in Tampa, and my 2 interns that I had on campus at Gainesville call me about noon the next day, and Brittany's like, can you talk really quick? I'm like, not really, I'm about to get on the plane. I was in the Tampa airport. And she's like, I need you to talk to Detective so-and-so from the UFPD. I'm like, what? Jason, this is Detective so-and-so from UF Police Department. I need you to come back to Gainesville. You're costing the university tens of thousands of dollars by the minute. I'm like, dude, what's going on? He's like, we have one of your backpacks that we believe to have a white powdery substance coming out of them. I'm like, dude, it's sand. And he thought it was anthrax. So I get on the plane, land in San Francisco, all over the news. Alligator, US News and World, CNN, they shut down the Wrights Union for 6 hours. They actually drew a political cartoon of Mike and I in the alligator, which is framed by my desk now. Well, we made a successful appearance at the homecoming parade, so you remember all the sandbags? Meanwhile, back at UF. I go into JanSport the next day. It's like dead man walking. Going, hey, how's it going? People are looking at me. I sit down in my cubicle. My boss, Ann, sat directly across from me. As soon as I put my backpack down, I go into her office. Sitting on the front page of USA Today, on her desk. She's like, what happened in Gainesville? I was like, Ann, I am so sorry. It was an honest mistake. It was a backpack filled with sand. She's like, close the door. I'm like, I love my job. I don't want to get fired. She's like, anyone out there in that room will tell you what you did was a bad thing. I'm like, okay. She's like, why'd you get hired here at JanSport? I was like, to promote the collegiate brand. JanSport was not cool on college campuses. My goal was to raise awareness on college campuses. She's like, any press is good press. I was like, any press is good press. Any press is good press. She's like, everyone out there will tell you what you do is a bad thing, what you did is the right thing. Because in the article, they talk about JanSport was out promoting his collegiate apparel line on college campuses, doing a national tailgate tour. I was saved. So, one of the mottos I live with is any press is good press. So now this comes full circle. We started selling some speakers, 10, 15 a day via MySpace existed and social media, and we got picked up in Billboard magazine, and we were selling like 20 speakers a day, and Mike and I were both like, we're never gonna leave our full-time jobs at this anthrax-hating backpack company. So we sent out a press release. We both were marketing guys, kind of like knew about PR and media, the potential of media, right? These guys will vouch for it. And we sent out a press release to Time Magazine, and we got a call around Halloween '09 that we were in the running for Time Magazine's 50 best inventions of the year. Myself, I'm more of like a Rolling Stone guy. I never really read Time Magazine, but I got this call and I immediately do a Google search. 2008 best inventions of the year, and #1 invention year prior, iPhone. And we're like, there's no way, right? So we sent off some samples, and lo and behold, 2 weeks later, we were named Time Magazine's 50 best inventions of the year, and our business blew up instantly overnight. We went from selling 20 speakers a day to over 2,000 speakers a day. We both spent our 2 weeks at JanSport, left, and have been doing this ever since. And then, as my mom calls it, look, Mom, now I'm famous. Not really. So Time Magazine happened. It was like the Time Magazine snowball effect, Fox News, CNN, blah, 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 blah. We were now, a speaker company that no one really heard of, right? Because we're in one of the biggest sectors in the industry. We were the small fish in the big pond, but we were that cool-looking small fish with the afro. So we had a lot of success, and we're like, why not just follow the same formula and keep doing what we do best, which was create. So we could have made normal speakers if we wanted to all day, right? Like, why make desktop speakers when you can make speakers made out of recycled material, speakers that come and unfold, speakers that look like softballs, speakers that expand like subwoofers. This one's our most successful, and a lot of people know it from Shark Tank. This product you can stick on any device, and whatever you stick it to, it turns the whole thing into a speaker. And then this year we launched one that's the same concept, that's 10 times as powerful. And then we started getting into customization. Everybody wanted to customize the original folding speakers, but we weren't able to, so we turned away a lot of business. So we're like, why not make a speaker that we can customize and print in the United States? So we started doing that. And we've never spent any money ever on advertising or marketing. It's all organic, grassroots, PR, social media, viral videos, which you'll see in a second. But build a product, spread the word, and just do what you know best, which is marketing, and that's what we know best. Stick to what you know best, and if you aren't good at something, hire someone who is. None of us are engineers. And if Shark Tank calls, go on Shark Tank. We didn't need an investment at all. We've never raised outside capital, ever. It's all been bootstrapped and self-funded. Small business cash flow hamster wheel just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Shark Tank called. Do you want to come on Shark Tank? Do you need an investment? Yeah, we need an investment. Primetime television can't pay for that type of exposure. So we went on Shark Tank, and Shark Tank is the gift that keeps on giving. So I guess a piece of advice is sometimes you don't have to invent the wheel. You can just figure out how to make the wheel look and run smoother and cooler. So we looked at the headphone market, and it's dominated by a lot of these companies. Beats by Dre, they're cool, good headphones, but they got a big-ass B on the side. My name starts with a J. I'm not interested. Bose, that's cool, but it says Bose on the side. Skull Candy, I don't believe in death and skulls. I'm over it. JBL, close, Jason Lucash, but my middle name starts with a C. So we're like, why not keep your enemies closer and take a stab at them, which you'll see in about a 1-minute video.
So, what do you want for your birthday?
I really want a pair of Beats headphones.
I don't know, aren't those kind of expensive?
I don't think so.
We'll see. Happy birthday, honey.
What? Oh, no way. You got me the Beats by OrigAudio headphones?
Way!
Thank you, you're awesome.
Beats Beats by OrigAudio, available in 6 different colors for only $30 at OrigAudio.com. Best of all, for every Beats headphone we sell, 1 can of Beats will be donated to a local food bank. Buy your Beats headphones today and support a good cause. Beats! Fashionably unique, ridiculously nutritious. Beats.
So instead of pumping money into advertising campaigns, web marketing, we pump our money into making kick-ass videos. We launched that product at the end of last year. We didn't put out the viral video until later. We launched it right after April Fool's Day to kind of catch that April Fool's Day wave. We thought it would go viral, but we didn't understand how viral it would go and getting picked up on the front page of Mashable, Gizmodo, TechCrunch, Uber Gizmo, blah, 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 blah. And it really helped catapult the product. You know, our IP lawyers looked at it and they're like, it's a parody, right? The font that's on the top of the headphones is a common use font. You got a vegetable on the sides, take a gamble, right? Someone from Beats by Dre actually ordered the headphones on our website and were stupid enough to use their @BeatsByDre email address, which we put on the back end of our system to scan the whole database of all of our orders for BeatsByDre.com, any of the shipping address in Santa Monica, and we didn't ship the order. But we still have never heard from them, but they know what we're doing. But it's also good to keep your enemies closer, because our eventual goal for the company is we're not taking any entrepreneur that says they want to go IPO or sell, or not IPO, they want to go IPO or have their company listed on the stock exchange, doesn't know what they're doing. Our eventual goal is to sell, and there's no one better to sell to than one of your enemies, right? So keep your enemies closer and one-up them in doing so. So we decided we were doing really well with the custom speakers. Why not do custom headphones? So now consumers can actually have their headphones look and feel how they want them to look and express their own personality. So if you're into graffiti and tattoos, you can have graffiti on the side of your headphones. If you're into eco-friendliness and wood, you can have, it's actually one of our good friends. You can have a wood design on the side of your headphones. Or if you have a badass 1966 Shelby Mustang, you can have those on your side of the headphones. We're now letting consumers be reflected in their products how they want and should feel and look. I can't even think what I'm saying now because I'm thinking about the guy from BeatsByDre.com that ordered. But their headphones can now look and feel how they want them to instead of how the manufacturer wants them to. Customization is ruling the world. Customization has taken over the world. If you don't believe it, drink the Kool-Aid because it's going to happen. In the future, seriously, in the future, probably 10 years from now, if you go on IKEA.com and order a fork, there isn't going to be a fork in a warehouse anywhere. It's going to be 3D printed to your specs and print and ship it on demand. That's what we're doing with online retailers. If you go to like Nordstroms.com, UrbanOutfitters.com, MTV.com, you'll be able to browse about 20 to 30 OrigAudio headphone designs that don't exist. There are no headphones in a warehouse anywhere. When someone's ordering the robot-style headphones, we're actually printing and shipping it on demand for the customer. So we're looking at online retail as kind of a cool win-win for both of us. For us, it's good marketing, good exposure. For the retailer, it's a no-risk, all-reward system. All they have to do is put a JPEG up on their website and drop the code into the back end. When an order comes in, we print and ship it. So customization is king, not just for the consumers, but for the retailers going forward. So this is how you can find me. You can tweet me, Instagram me, Firefox me. And then I want to end with 2 pieces of advice, which I was thinking about backstage, and I think they're pretty good ones. One, a lot of people like come up to me with ideas for products on a daily basis. You know, people think they have the best ideas. You don't want to be that person that says, you know, I had the best idea for a product yesterday and be sitting on the couch 5 years from now, see that product on an infomercial, and say to your friend and be like, remember when I had the idea for that product? You know, the best dreams and the best ideas spark the best businesses, and there's no harm in trying, so go out and try, right? Second piece of advice is it's important for all of us, not just everyone in this room, but everyone in the world, to stand behind the young future business leaders and entrepreneurs of the future, because the future is now. So remember that. And yeah, thanks for having me.